I had 8 babies inside me. Yes. So, like I said, 8. It was at 12 weeks. They had to reduce them to 3. Childbirth is the greatest miracle on earth.
What was that journey like for you?
My kids will be 10 years. I don't know how, but each phase came with its own challenge, and Allah saw us through. They were so fragile. Less than 1 kg. They came prematurely. They also had jaundice at birth.
I wish I didn't have him. I mean, he wouldn't have to go through, whatever it was that he was going through at the time.
Tune in to hear Muslim women talking back like never before. This is the HSM TribeCast.
Hey sis, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the HSM TribeCast, the podcast by Muslim women for Muslim women. The last few episodes, we have touched on relationships in all their forms, our relationships with Allah, relationships within the context of multiple marriages, and today we're exploring a different type of relationship, that of a mother and her children. With me in the studio today is someone we probably all know or have in our homes, Zuwaira, founder of Amal Botanicals. Welcome, Zuwaira.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First off, you look amazing. I've just been looking at it and I've been telling you that color combination is entering my eye. You look lovely. Thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you so much
to come out. So like I already said, Zuwaira is the founder of a skincare brand for children called Amal Botanicals, and she's a mother to triplets. 3 amazing, lovely kids. So I was about to go straight to my question.
Yeah.
But I forgot we usually have an icebreaker.
Okay.
2 truths and a lie. So let me retrace my steps. So 2 truths and a lie about Zuwaira.
Hey, 2 truths and a lie. Okay. Zuwaira is kind. Yeah. Zuwaira is a plant lover. Yeah. And Zuwaira is... I don't know which lie I bring now.
Okay, so no, you don't actually have to say that order. I need to guess what the lie is.
That's how I'm thinking of the one I'll add. Because I kind of think my personality is out there and, Okay. Zuwaira is selfish.
Okay. Zuwaira is kind, Zuwaira is selfish, and Zuwaira loves plants.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to say selfish is the lie.
Yeah.
I can be selfish. I don't know.
Yes. And selfish in many contexts. Yes.
Yeah. So is that the lie?
I don't know. That's the lie.
I feel like you made it very easy.
But like I said, my personality is out there, so I found it hard trying to put them together.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And then, okay, back to the question I was about to ask, which was triplets. Do people call you mommy triplets or triplets? Or how do you say? You're from Edo, right?
Yes.
How do they say mommy triplets? You're right, say better.
Maybe because I'm based here.
Yeah.
Mama 3, the better thing is still okay. Yeah.
Mama 3.
But maybe because I also have another baby, Amal. People call me more Amal than Mama 3.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Amal is none of...
Amal is...
It's just name on its own.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So most people call me Mommy Amal. Even my family call me Mama Amal.
Yeah. Oh, nice. But back to the elephant in the room, triplets.
Yeah.
At what point, how did you find out you expected triplets? What was your first reaction?
First of all, they were all planned.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through that process of fertility, and they were planned.
Okay.
And I usually don't say this, but I'll say this so that to encourage other mothers and women out there. During my process, I first had 1 failed attempt. Then the second one, honestly, Allah used the doctors should I say, to help me. And yeah, I had 8 babies inside me. Yes, so like I said, it was at 12 weeks. They had to reduce them to 3. So yeah, I'm saying this to encourage people. Sometimes you could be waiting and waiting, and yeah, Allah has made all of that, giving us that knowledge to make it easy for ourselves. And Allah has used people. Allah will only use people to help you.
Wow.
Yes.
It's my mind is still processing.
Yeah, so
wow,
it was planned, and alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And it's interesting because I think for the last 2 episodes or 3 episodes ago, we talked about the power of dua, and our guest was someone who works, in a fertility clinic, and we talked through that process of, women who are looking out, trying to, conceive a child, and that process and the faith that has to drive you through. So it's interesting that you mentioned that point. So at the point that you found out, even though it was planned, you had 8, now you had 3, and you were seeing that pregnancy to term. What was that journey like for you?
It wasn't, I don't know. Allah made it easy, and till now, my kids will be 10 years, and each time I look back, like, how did I do it? How? I don't know how, but each phase came with its own challenge, and Allah saw us through, because it wasn't easy with 3, and coming from someone who had lost my parents, so I didn't have that so much support.
Yeah,
it was, I don't know. Alhamdulillah.
That's all we can say.
Yes.
10 years down the line.
10 in March. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, alhamdulillah. I mean, and again, we've touched on this already, just in terms of like, yes, you found out you're going to have triplets, but before that process, now I know that it wasn't smooth sailing. You were on your fertility journey and trying to conceive. Can you contrast how you felt at that time, while you were trying to conceive, and when you finally got that news that, okay, yes, I had the process was successful, I have live children in me, like where you were coming from, how was that journey? And finally, what did you feel when it was finally successful?
I always say this, that every journey towards having them and having them now was actually worth it, and it prepared me for having them and still raising them. So all I would say is the journey was worth it. And sometimes when Allah is trying to test you, I don't regret anything. I don't regret.
Everybody has their trials.
Everything prepared me for the next phase. So, and where I am here, I would say that every phase was worth it.
Yeah. Did you have any negative experiences in terms of like social expectations and, society and family and people during that period where you were trying to?
Not really, but the comments will be there, but not really. Yeah, they could be there. And first of all, we are our own mind. We judge ourselves first. Even before people judge, we on our own, we will judge ourselves. So it's up to us to know what to accept and what not to accept, and what not to allow get to us.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so your actual birth story, because everybody has different experiences. Actually, some people have quite similar experiences, especially with the healthcare system that we have in our country. What was that like? I'm sure that with you, it was also a closely managed process. But what was your birth story like? And was there any moments? Is there anything in particular that really stuck with you all these years, 10 years later?
The first one, the first shocker is I've taken care a lot of children while growing up, my auntie's children, my sister's children. Every birth is unique, and I always say that, no, right now I say this, that when a woman gives birth, that woman is being born also. It's not only the children that are born. that woman a new,
It's like a rebirth.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is also being born
Hmm.
when she gives birth to children. And I felt that when I had them. I felt like a new me was, though I struggled a bit with postnatal depression and anxiety, of course, dealing with multiples.
Yeah.
And honestly, the woman body goes through a lot.
Yeah.
That's, in fact, it's even now I'm understanding what I went through. And I, for one, I will say this, I don't like going to the hospital. I dealt with postnatal depression and I did not know. It's now that I'm understanding what I went through. So imagine experiencing that, like a new body, a new person. And honestly, the human body, especially coupled with how I conceived them,
Yeah.
because you will struggle with those medication even years later after having them. Your hormonal changes, so much you will struggle with. So I was not prepared for that. You prepare for everything, but you see yourself changing. No one prepares you for that. And no one can tell you how it will be.
Yeah. Do you know why I'm always curious?
And I always said it's the greatest childbirth. You're looking for miracles everywhere. Childbirth is the greatest miracle on earth.
That's the word I
like childbirth. After I had them, I had a little complications. I had internal bleeding, which led to external bleeding. I had to go back to when I mean clots of blood, I was bleeding clots of blood. They were packing, and childbirth is the greatest miracle on earth. Honestly, any woman that can survive childbirth, see, she has superpowers.
I agree. And you know why I'm always curious? Whether it's here or in my regular conversations with the women I've been opportunity to meet, I'm usually curious about like people's experiences with like the birth story, because everybody is different. For some people it's CS, for some people it's like natural or vaginal birth. Some people it's assisted. For me, like I had an epidural. So I feel, and someone has told me to stop saying this, but if at that point I felt like I cheated a bit, because I didn't
with that epidural.
Yeah.
There, should I say,
can
future
go wrong.
consequences. I still have back pain.
Spine.
I still have spine pain.
I heard
today. So
that it's all so different, right? Anything could have gone wrong, even with the like spinal.
Even after everything, as she said, you pay for it. The consequences, like
I don't want to pay.
the effects. No one. Oh, okay, sorry, I used that word consequences. Sorry, I always say that to my children. The effect is always a human body, especially a woman. We receive a lot of those injections. They have hormonal effects.
Yeah.
And as you grow older, you struggle with your hormone.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the actual, what I was going to then fall on is, I mean, so you went through this process. Allah bless you. You had this triple bundle of joy, but then, and you didn't know it at the time, you dealt with like those fluctuating moods and the depression and all that. Did you, at that point, did you feel ungrateful? You were feeling this way in a way that you couldn't help, and you didn't know what the issue was. Did you feel ungrateful after this gift?
Funny how that's how people saw me, especially family. They felt, what's wrong with this girl? Allah has blessed you with so much. Why are you causing problem?
Yeah.
They didn't understand what I was going through. Like I said, childbirth is a process no woman can explain. No, yeah, okay, thank God with the help of social media and people talking out more.
Yeah.
Especially the earlier generation, it's hard for them to, should I say, understand some of those things because they were not that expressive. So a lot of them saw me as, she's complaining too much. They saw me as ungrateful.
And what did it take for you to get the help that you needed?
I don't know if I got the help.
Or you just like got on with it?
I moved on. I discovered therapy. Therapy helped. And I got to start understanding what I was going through. So that's what really helped.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you've said it a number of times. It was your motherhood and having your children that sparked the need for natural care and eventually the business, Amal Botanicals. What was that process like?
Okay. Yeah, when I had them, before then, I had a career in accounting and taxation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was practicing. And yeah, when I had them, it gave me time to, when you have a pause in life, when you have that pause, I am someone who introspects a lot. And there was a need. Okay, there was that need. They came prematurely. And that was how, yeah. So, and when children are born prematurely, they don't discharge you with them. They stay back
in
ICU with the nurses. They care for them. So should I say I had a bit of time to start the research. That was how the research for Amal Botanicals started. But should I say I didn't have that intention of going into it at that point in time. I was just doing it for my children and looking for better ways to, first of all, speed up leaving the hospital. Number two, they also had jaundice at birth. I was looking for something that would heal them faster. And that was how the research, with the help of also nurses advising me, oh, try this, try that. And that was how I started putting things together. And when we started using it on them, we noticed they started healing them, and their developmental rates, we were seeing positive improvements. And, that was how I had to look into it. And I'm like, okay, I need to take this to the next level.
Well, yeah, so that next level, what was that? How do you scale from?
I had to go
your
back.
passion, something you were just doing to keep your children alive, practically. And
I had to, if it was something I was going to do, I had to go back to schooling. I had to go back to moving from accounting. I am not a cosmetologist. I had to go back to moving it from just research and actually practicing how to do those products better and working with other people who were already in that industry to make my products better. So that was how I started scaling the business.
And I usually don't like to, there's this I have this pet peeve when they ask someone a question and then they say, oh, as a woman or as a Muslim woman. But the truth is, you can't divest you and your identity as a Muslim woman from the experiences that you've lived. So in the process of, establishing that business of, I don't know what your capital process was like, raising capital or even getting people interested to want to use the products. What was that process like? And did you, you being Muslim, did that cause any barriers for you?
Okay, in terms of finance, right?
Yeah,
capital.
Finance, capital, customer acquisition, everything.
Yeah. In terms of finance, I was bootstrapping. I was still working while building Amal Botanicals. Whatever I earn, I put it back into the business. Whatever sales I make, I put it back into the business. Whatever bonuses I get at work, I put it back into the business. So that was how, I kept, turning over funds and helping the business. In terms of customer acquisition and partnership, of course, human beings will always be human beings. There are so many reasons why they may not want to work with you. There are so many reasons why they may not want to align or relate with you. And see, I always tell this, even jollof rice or plantain, you cannot be liked by all. Once you identify yourself and your identity and what you want to do, you roll with it. Whoever doesn't want to align with you, that's their loss.
Yep.
That is their loss. Recently, I was doing a study on Qatar, and I'm like, look at Qatar. And yeah, Emirates had also proven that. And there is a Muslim country, right? You see, with the level of excellence and what they do, is it only Muslims that are going there?
Obviously, no.
So is even, should I say, left on us to, whatever we are doing, practice excellence.
Yeah, and offer value that people.
I'm not saying I'm there, I'm not there. I'm still trying to work on that. So whoever leaves you because of who you are or what you stand for will be missing out on you. Right now, is there anyone that has not been to Doha? Okay, minus
I
you.
want to.
Minus you.
I want
But
to.
I see, what I'm saying is, I see a lot of Christian activities being held in Doha. And I sat down, I was like, wow, this is Doha.
It used to be Dubai. Now it's Doha.
See, this tells us that we should strive for excellence no matter what we do. Forget about who is looking down on you at the start. Like I said, it is their loss. Whoever doesn't want to align with you for what you stand for, what you do, be so good that you cannot be missed or avoided. That is one thing I've learned with my identity.
That's a quote.
Be so good that thing
that you can't be missed or avoided.
Can't be missed or avoided. And whoever does that is their loss.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And so on that point, and then bringing it back to that relationship, that love as a mother. So we've gone through, the struggles that you had to eventually conceiving the triplets and birthing them. And again, the struggle didn't end there. You still had those struggles afterwards. And you mentioned earlier about being orphaned at an early age. From your perspective, like, what was your understanding of a mother's love when you were young? Do you remember? And how did that change when you then had your own kids? What you thought or what you believed a mother's love was, and what you then thought it was when you eventually had your own kids?
It still did not change after I had my own kids. A mother's love is unconditional. A mother's love is protective. A mother's love is covering.
Yeah.
And that is why paradise lies on the feet of a mother. A mother's love is covering, protective, and that is how I feel for my children.
Yeah, I agree. A mother's love is unconditional. I mean, a mother's love is literally it was your fight to keep your babies alive, right? That birthed this whole thing, and then, business and that journey that you're still on. And you mentioned earlier, just in terms of how the various ways in which Allah blesses us, and fortunately or unfortunately, the way that we receive that. And it's not a reflection on our gratitude or our, being ungrateful. For instance, you had that depression period. I think it happens for a lot of people in different scenarios, whether it's in business or whether it's in blessings that come to us that you expect to be very grateful for, but it overwhelms you. It doesn't take away from just how grateful you are to Allah for these things. And I mean, Allah himself is merciful and understands, the limitations as well of the human emotion. How do you maintain that unconditional love, as you said, but still be able to have the boundaries within that relationship? Let me try and put it more concisely. So you love your children unconditionally. There's the mother's love. We want to protect our children. We want to guide them through life. But at the same time, the love for ourselves and us being able to pour into the children, you have to invest in yourself. You have to have that self-love for yourself. How do you balance in terms of boundaries between giving the children their due, but also taking care of yourself to be able to nurture them?
I had to learn that, and I schedule my care. I have my days I take care of myself.
Okay.
I have my spa days. I have my rest days. And putting the children on a schedule too also helps. It helps them to understand at a particular point in time what they should be doing, to even ease the mother herself of that, always checking on them. I'm not saying you can't check on them, but having a bit of time away from them to build independency. Scheduling my care has always been paramount for me. And you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of yourself, you can't give what you don't have. You're not even teaching them that they also need to take care of themselves. So I schedule my care.
So for other mothers who are going through that process, whether it's you've had children and you're going through that depression after giving birth to the children, or you have children and you're overwhelmed but you don't have the time, like what you said about being able to schedule care for yourself, you're not able to do that. I think that there's a guilt that some women harbor in terms of like being able to care for the children, but also being able to take the time for yourself. For someone who's struggling, I hear you in terms of like scheduling the care, but sometimes it's easier said than done. Even in the corporate world, it's around time management. You say scheduling care, but really it's around time management and being able to do everything in its own time. But I think that we moms carry a lot of guilt in terms of, oh, am I doing enough? Am I loving them enough? Am I giving them enough? Like, how do you answer that question of enoughness? How do you decide what is enough?
Mom guilt will never end. That's just the truth. It will always be there. It will always be there. It is never ending. But you also need to choose you. You need to choose yourself. You need to tell yourself, no matter what happens, you also need to be fine.
Yeah.
Allah created all of us. Like I said, I lost my parents at an early age, and it helped me rely more on Allah for everything. Mom guilt will always be there. Allah gave me those children, so He will take care of them. Whatever that is happening, not till I come back, I'll come back and meet.
They'll be fine.
But then, for that time, it's me.
Yeah. Have you?
So mom guilt will always be there.
Yeah. Yeah. The point you made around mom guilt, actually, it's not a point. I asked about it because sometimes I also project. I've definitely felt those like pangs. I remember in like the first year, my son wasn't up to a year yet. I couldn't breastfeed exclusively because of, whatever reasons at the time. We had moments apart. So imagine like you working in this city and then having to like go during the weekend to check on him in the other city, and then probably TMI, but like if you're trying to keep up breastfeeding, then you're just going to spend a whole week with engorged breasts and you don't have a child to latch on and feed. And I remember feeling so guilty because before I had him, I had read I had read everything there was to read. I had watched all of these blogs, and I had this plan in my mind of how I was going to breastfeed for 2 years. It was going to be 2 years.
All right.
I don't think I lasted 6 months. It was going to be for 2 years, and then he was going to then be weaned and all of these things. But like you say, everyone has their unique experiences, and at that time, a part of me almost felt like I was letting him or myself down.
Let me just add this to the birth story. You know how everyone has unique experiences. When I had them and I saw them, they were so tiny in the incubator. You carried, because people carry like ones. I didn't carry. So I didn't get to carry them.
Oh wow.
So that was already, I'm like, yeah, Allah, I prayed for this. What is this? I'm like, Allah, I prayed for this. What is this? So motherhood is something that you read so much about, you prepare so much about, but when it comes, oh my God, it's a kind of exam. You know how you read the exam, you go for the examination and you see similar things to what you've read. With motherhood experience is different.
And you just have to be prepared and have that mindset to receive it in whatever
but
form.
what you will see is not what you prepared for. I didn't get to carry them until months later.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see them. Yeah, they will encourage you and advise you to, but they were so fragile.
Yeah.
They were premature.
Yeah.
So they were so less than 1 kg, 1 kg. So yeah. So where do you start from? So motherhood throws you off different levels.
Yeah.
It's always a new experience for each parent. And nothing prepares you for it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just Allah's grace. And also being being flexible. It's easier said than done, when you're in that moment. But I think if you have a flexible mindset and you realize that, look, anything can happen, and then just be prepared for that in whatever form, whichever way it comes. I think it's when you're so set in this is how it was meant to be, and you're not able to move past that.
And I think that's what causes even the depression and the anxiety. I wish when I had them, I had someone who told me, Zuwaira, this is just for the moment. It will pass.
Yeah.
I wish I had someone who told me that, because I was so overwhelmed. It's not, you can't describe that overwhelmed feelings with multiples. I was overwhelmed. And alhamdulillah, as God will have it, it passed. And each phase is always, because now I'm dealing with people who will soon get into preteen and all of, each phase is always different. And alhamdulillah for past experiences, each hurdle I'm about to go, I'm like, okay, sure, I survived the other one. This one.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So now I'm also learning how to have the final look of my journey instead of just dwelling in,
focus on the bigger picture.
Instead of just dwelling in that problem and that particular point of time.
Yeah. No, that's so true. And what you said, because I was coming to that, like, as mothers, you fulfill so many roles. You're directing people's lives, you're managing logistics, your PA, your driver, your prayer warrior for the better part of the time. How has that relationship been like with your faith? Do you think that your faith grew stronger after you had kids, or what has that journey like with your faith been, especially in that, with that expectation of having to also be a spiritual guardian, at least while they're younger?
I think it made me closer to my faith and made me closer to Allah on a different level. Because Allah created us, right? And He gave us those children. Sometimes some of the things we worry about, it shouldn't be our worry. We should commit it to Allah. So we over worry ourselves about things we should be communicating with Allah for.
Yeah.
So it gave me a different kind of connection to God. So now anything I have, I'm like, oh Allah, please just help me solve this. Please, it's not my fight. Seriously, I'm like, it's not my fight. Please just help me. I don't know how this came about, but yeah, Allah, please take it over.
Yeah. For me, it's a mix, because it's a huge responsibility.
It is.
One thing I did was to also try and share that responsibility. So from a really early age, I also, started getting him more conversant with faith as well.
Absolutely.
But you know that Allah answers the prayers of children very easily. So, like, it also gets them involved.
You're asking me for something. Have you asked Allah? I'm not the one that will provide it. Go and ask Allah. Allah will pray about it and Allah will provide for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. This one is a bit heavy. Has there been anything that has ever occurred? Have you ever had a situation where have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have them?
I never. No. My life changed after I had them, both good and, of course, challenges.
Yeah.
Life cannot always be a straight curve. If it's straight, it's the challenges that makes life more interesting and makes it more adventurous. So no, the challenges were there, but alhamdulillah, and challenges makes you even understand the process more or a situation better. Like my kids, when they were born shortly before 1 year, they've undergone 2 different kind of surgeries. My daughter, when she was 3 months, she did a surgery on her esophagus. I'm lactose intolerant, and I didn't know I would pass that on to them. Their lactose intolerance was really bad. They didn't take cow milk. Till now, we are very selective of what we eat, so it was a tough time for us. My son at 9 months, his intestine was blocked. Yeah, we had to do so. He had hernia. I had to do surgery to correct that. So like I said, challenges helps you to even understand the situation better. Before I even identify all those issues, it was really challenging managing them because they'll cry uncontrollably at night. They will not sleep. But I never had a time when I wish I didn't have them. Maybe I could have been overwhelmed those periods, but never had a time when I didn't have them. And I'm grateful for that, those soft times, because now I understand each of my child better.
Yeah. The reason I asked was because, children have different needs. So like my son, he does have like some special needs, and it wasn't detected early enough. And I remember when I eventually found out, I would say it almost broke me. And now, I can look at it retrospectively. I can't even joke and laugh about it. But at the time, it was a thought that crossed through my mind, because I just felt, why should the child come into this life and suffer this way? And that was a thought that came through my mind. Like, I wish I didn't have him to make life. I mean, he wouldn't have to go through, whatever it was that he was going through at the time. And I was able to, I got myself, Astaghfirullah, again, came back from those dark times and saw beyond the challenges, like you said, moving past that present and realizing that there's a reason for everything and looking future facing. But yeah, I definitely had that moments where I was like, I had zero idea what to do, and it was like, God, can you just but then I was like, oh no. Well, alhamdulillah. So for you, I also remember, I think, have you said it before? Have I read it somewhere? Where one of your triplets, did they have any special needs, or was that something?
No, it was just the digestive issues and difficulty with food. They were really selective. I had to prepare their foods different times. But in fact, that was how I was also grateful Amal Botanicals came in and, the care for them, their skin and their hair, because also whatever we put on the skin, it goes beyond the skin, it goes into the bloodstream, and that also contributed with their healing development, and I'm grateful to Allah for that. So the research took me, in fact, there was one time my neighbor, I had books, these medical books. Hey, my neighbor was saying,
doctors where?
Like, I was reading so many things on their food, their digestion, and all of that. It was a lot, but alhamdulillah, we came out. It's still a journey. We are not yet. It's not something, what happened to them when they were young is not something that heals itself. It's a continual journey. So there are times they must take their fruits, vegetables, and avoid some certain food, avoid sugar, direct sugar, and all of that. And with children now, when you are trying to control them for some of those things, it's continuous education. They would think you're avoiding, making them not to have the good side of life. I tell them, it's for your own good, it's for your own health, So that continuous education and all.
Yeah. Parting words for all the mothers out there who are just trying to make it through the next day.
Parting words. I would say to every mother, you are amazing. You are doing a lot. What you are doing is enough, honestly. For you to even have that thought, to know if you are thinking if you are doing enough, that means you are actually doing enough. You are enough. And that phase would pass. Just hang on there, hang in there. That phase would pass and you would look back and smile on them like, oh, wow, I was there. You'll be the one advising on that. So to every new mom, don't worry, it's a phase. And each phase, before you know it, is very short. Before you know,
you're on to the next thing.
Yeah, you're on to the next thing. So appreciate and live in every moment you find yourself.
Thank you so much, Zuwaira.
You're welcome.
This was a lovely conversation. I mean, I had fun, just 2 moms geeking out. But to all the moms out there and the expectant moms, remember, motherhood is a journey. it's not a destination, and each phase changes. Like,
don't ever compare your journey with another mom's. Don't do that. Everyone is different. No, don't compare your parenting, your motherhood to anybody. No.
You're not. You're on your own lane.
No.
Yeah. So enjoy every single phase of motherhood, and remember, don't get stuck in the now. There's a bigger picture behind all of that. Remember, you are enough, and that's all that matters. Until next time, like, share, subscribe, send this to someone who you believe will benefit from it.